My me at 85,000. Jesus.
Well, this is a day I'll not soon forget. I've seen a few things in my time, but I've not flown on an eagle's back till today. Well, now that it's a bit easier to talk, let me thank you properly for saving our lives and bid you welcome to Nordinbad, our home. Nordfrey's father, the Lord Gorin, will want to speak with you. Nordfrey's gone ahead to report on the Gundabad raid into...
I suspect I'm the first man to see the inside of these halls.
I am certain I am the first elf to do so.
Robię
Here, sire, those I...
Walls of yours are both high and strong. Why not wait for the enemy to spend their strength against them?
Were we dealing with the host of Gundabad alone, we would have done just He demanded that we yield ourselves up to the mercy of Sauron. As if there was any mercy in the Dark Lord.
He lays claim to Nordinbad, telling us if we turn over our halls and riches without a fight, our lives will be spared, and we will be free to seek a new home elsewhere.
Of course, we would have nothing of that. When we defied him, he grew wrathful, threatening us with the
especially birds.
Herbs.
Do you know where he may be found?
It dwells within the forest of Mirkwood, away to the south. Perhaps your companion Belaram would know where to find him, for it is said that Radagast is a friend to the Lord of Eagles himself.
Much as I'd like to avoid Mirkwood, seems like it'd be worth our time to speak to this wizard.
Indeed. But before you set out, please accept a token of our gratitude. Seek out my steward Galar. I've instructed him to open our vaults to you. I believe you may find something within that will be of service in the days ahead.
Zip.
We will seek out our kin. My father sees the need for this as well. Were it not so, I wouldn't have dared bring you and your friends.
Who are these people, the Bjornings?
A hardy folk, and brave, as any who dwell between Mirkwood and the Misty Mountains would need to be. Under their chieftain, Grimbjorn, they've kept the mountain passes and river crossings open, even in these troubled times. But I've heard rumors of play. All we can do is prepare our defenses, hunker down and wait for whatever the winds of war might blow our way.
Not well, but we've had some dealings with him in the past. He seems an honest enough wizard. Though you would be wise not to harm any birds or beasts while anywhere near his home. He calls all wild creatures friends, save for those who serve the Dark Lord.
Is there anything more you can tell me regarding dragons?
Vile creatures, as wicked as they are terrible. They drove most of my people from these mountains with their deprivations. Curse them all. I'd best keep your wits.
Used to have a beard down to my belt. Well, shorter is safer. Long as you keep a bucket of water handy, there's nothing to worry about.
How great are your skills as a smith?
I'm no braggart, but I'll put my skills up against any smith, dwarf, elf, or man. You may think I don't know much, being set apart from others of my craft. But I'll tell you a little secret. My grandsires go back all the way to the smiths that worked alongside the great elven smith, Celebrimbor himself. In the days of ancient Eregion, there was a great friendship between elves and dwarves. We've passed down skills from forgotten times. I know runes of power and other secrets that give my weapons and armor a hidden strength you'll not find elsewhere. You won't complain about my work.
Eregion fell long before I was born. What do you know of it?
The lore passed down from my grandsires is little enough. That Eregion lay west of the Misty Mountains near Moria. That the elves of Eregion were of a kind known as Noldor, and were clever craftsmen. The Noldor didn't know in the beginning that Sauron was evil. Sauron came to Eregion and taught them how to forge rings of power. But after Sauron was revealed, he invaded Eregion and destroyed it. Nearly 5,000 years ago, that was. Doubt there's much left of the place now. But Sauron's fixing to do the same thing all over again. Even here in the far north.
You speak of Celebrimbor, the Ringmaker?
None was a greater craftsman of jewels and forger of metals than Celebrimbor, who was Lord of Eregion. Close friend he was to Narvi, the great stone master, and to my grandsires. He even made 7 rings of power for the dwarves. It was Celebrimbor who knew that Sauron had betrayed the elves by making 1 ring. He heard the enemy declare himself master over all. He was killed in the first war against Sauron, and many of his secrets were lost. Narvi and his kin were lost as well. Only one of my ancestors escaped to carry the tale. So it's been told from grandsire to me.
believe how many ways we've learned to cook mush. That's enough jabbering. If you're not going to buy something, let me get back to my work.
Oh, shit. I think I accidentally saw one of my bloody set.
Oh,
Are you here to buy
the
something? Speak up.
heavy
Time to
wood.
waste.
It was an adamant helmet here.
Yeah, it's got a nice helmet.
Yeah, I've got a helmet.
Ah, here it is. I'll have to buy it back.
Nobody shapes stone like a dwarf.
Hmm? You still hit me? Or just throw it again?
Oh,
Okay. I'll keep on rejoin it. God, how did I reset all my purchases?
what the hell am I doing?
Are you here to buy something?
Mirkwood is a place I prefer to fly over, not into, but we are ready to go.
We must hope Radagast can tell us where to find Urgost. Have you ever faced a dragon before?
No, that is a risk I have gladly avoided. One does not willingly seek out a dragon, unless there is no choice.
Do you fear dragons?
Only a fool would not fear a dragon. If Urgost has survived this long, he must be full of the guile and cunning of his kind, abominations that they are. And this will make him even more dangerous. But that changes nothing. If we must prevent his alliance with Agandar, then fear must be set aside and the dragon found. We should follow Gorin's advice and seek Urgost's whereabouts from Radagast.
I thought it a rare thing that you offered your aid to us, and hardly expected 2 more equals to do the same. What can you tell me of him?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
What if it is too late to stop Agandar? I may be needed more urgently in Imladris if he should strike before we can find him.
There is great power in Imladris, enough to withstand this threat for a time. If you remain,
What if it's because I leveled it?
be but one of
Leveled
many
up
in a
midway
larger
through.
fight with little hope at the end. For even Imladris
You've disconnected
must
before,
fall
haven't you?
if Urgost joins
Yeah.
the enemy. Trust in the wisdom of Elrond. He has set you a task that he believes you can achieve. Together, we will do what must be done to bring down
I need another
Agandar.
one.
Only
Can't
then will
watch
your
myself
home
later.
and our
Much
areas
better
be
than
safe.
You know Radagast well.
that's already.
The Brown Wizard has been a close friend of the Eagles since he first came to Middle-earth and settled into the forest that is now called Mirkwood, even before it came to have that dark name. That was long before I was born, but I have visited with him many
Fights
times
to
in his
gather
home
your
at
path.
Rosgobel when I would bring him news from afar.
Where I am now.
But I have not seen him since he abandoned Rosgobel.
Now, I don't know which one.
Radagast lived there for centuries. Why would he abandon it?
He was gone from his home before I could ask. But there has been a growing threat and darkness in the south of Mirkwood. I believe Rosgobel is no longer safe, even for a wizard. But fear not. I know Radagast's favored places in the north of Mirkwood. We will find him,
But the
or I will
culture
bring
that
you
did
to a
the
place
size
you are
still
likely to find
ongoing.
him at the very least.
Chronicler, we need to speak about
We must
Rubendell
travel to Mirkwood.
We will
and
be ready.
side quest truce. Arwen at Rubendell. Go to Rubendell first.
Yeah.
What's your quest here?
Go speak to Arwen.
And Bilbo, see if he's got anything
Bilbo.
more to say.
Silver.
Hello, Andriel. I do hope you've
Oh,
come to
yeah.
give me an account of your recent adventures.
Very well. When we reached Mount
We
Gundabad,
reached
a
Mount
fierce winter
Gundabad.
storm was raging. Our eagle companions seized us in their talons and lifted us to safety just as the mountainside came crashing down.
My goodness, what a harrowing tale. Your adventures seem to be getting more and more hair-raising all the time. Still, it makes for a good story. I really should get started on writing it all down. People will want to know about this someday. Oh, I really should have taken notes. So you're going to Mirkwood in order to find a dragon. It seems frighteningly familiar somehow. I do hope you will be careful. Dragons are serious business.
Why, of course. I had nearly forgotten, but you have dealt with a dragon before.
Why, yes, I suppose there are not too many people who've come face to face with a dragon and lived to tell of it.
What advice would you offer for one who goes in search of such a creature?
Advice? First I'd say stealing from them is generally a bad idea. I'd avoid that if you can. Secondly, should you find yourself in a pinch, try flattery.
Flattery? But what use could that be?
Yes, strange as it may seem, I was rather complimentary when I spoke with old Smaug and found he took to flattery as readily as my niece Angelica. Yes, vain creatures, the both of them. I really hope you'll come back later and fill me in on how your adventures are progressing.
Who could say no to such an appreciative audience? Now I really should be on my way. Farewell, Bilbo.
Have you spoken to Arwen yet?
Yeah.
Was that a no?
No, I'm still talking to Silver.
Those who venture in...
Darwin Johnson there.
Oh,
Hasn't she? Bridge.
no, she's still here.
Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to speak to Angmir.
I am certain I can fashion something that you will find most beneficial. You have but to choose.
Arwen, what was that? What did you say, Jack?
Got to speak to Angmir?
Oh, there's Smith.
Mm-hmm. I've got nothing I can add runes to. Does that mean I can just add runes to something?
It's telling
Oh, it does. Regardless. Oh, wow. Oh my god. 10 to dexterity, 20 to power, 60 to armor, and reduce wear 5,000%.
So whatever you're wearing, he will add the runes to it.
Yeah. Just pick your item. I didn't think you could add anything unless it had a slot, but
Pretty?